What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. This is Trinity here, your host. As always, thank you all so much for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. And those of you guys who show up every morning, I just do greatly appreciate you guys all showing up here for the morning movie chat. Mary Mayhem, welcome to the live stream. I hate to start this stream off the same way I do every single time and saying, you know what, I'm going to keep this short today because I've got a busy day and I've got a lot of stuff to do. Because every time end up saying that, I end up going for like way over an hour. And today, I'm going to make this stream long. I'm just saying it's going to be a long stream. So then it'll end up being short. Okay, I'm using some reverse psychology here on myself. But if you could all do me a favor, make sure that you hit that like button, share with a friend, tell them, and just all that good stuff that YouTube wants me to tell you to do. I don't know why, because I guess otherwise their algorithm and their whole system won't work without it, right? I don't know. This whole thing kind of makes me laugh sometimes. This whole YouTube algorithm, and how we're all trying to get into it and cheat it and beat it and all that stuff, so we can get our videos noticed more. And it's funny because like every single person out there has to talk about the same stuff, like hit that like button, all that stuff. It's really ridiculous. Like if people show up to watch your videos, they click on them and they're there watching. I mean, they should push that more, not just if somebody comments and leaves a like and all that. But you know what? I do greatly appreciate the feedback, and that's the most important part about it for all of us anyway, is the feedback that we get from the interaction. Not only whether somebody likes or dislikes a video. I mean, feel free to leave a dislike if you don't like what you're seeing or hearing here. That's perfectly fine. But leave a comment as well. Even if you're going to troll and leave something trollish, hey, leave a comment because I say that there's still something to be extracted from the input and sometimes the output of a troll. So anyway, yeah, thank you all so much for being here. I don't really have much to talk about today here for the morning movie chat as far as movies are concerned. Well, because I haven't got out to see that new Rambo movie yet. Did you guys get out to see Rambo? I don't know. I've got to be honest with you when I say that I haven't even checked the trailer. I haven't even watched the trailer yet to see how that's going to be. But Mary says, you do you, honey boo. Yeah, I don't know. I just like kind of making fun of that stuff. You know what I mean? Laughing at things like that. Make sure you hit that like button. And I don't know. Like I said, I mean, it is good for all the channels and it really does help. But, I can tell you, just to be honest, when I get out there sometimes, because I listen to a lot of videos while I'm out working, I drive a lot. I'm sitting there listening to the videos and I forget to like and I forget to leave comments a lot of times. But I'm always listening. Always listening, Wazowski. Always listening. But yeah, Rambo. I think I'm gonna try to see if I can get out and see it. Maybe on, I don't know. It would have to be early, maybe on Saturday or something. If not, make sure I get out to see Rambo on Sunday. Carrie Neves, welcome to the live stream. Maverick Pilgrim, thank you for being here. So yeah, let me know. I mean, did you guys get out and see Rambo last night? I know pretty much everywhere. It seems like there's theaters everywhere that open up. They stay open later now. There's all these Thursday evening showings of movies and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been a while since I've been to one. Usually, the ones that I go to for like the Thursday evening ones, about the only movies I ever go to on a Thursday evening is something I really want to see, which usually ultimately ends up being usually an MCU movie. Any other thing, like, because my wife works in the evenings and I'm here at the house with my kids during the evening. So, those are the only ones I really make plans for, and they just go play at their friend's house across the street. But most of the others, I go ahead and I wait till Friday because sometimes if it's one of my, well, I don't know. I guess all my Fridays are pretty busy, but it's been a while since I've done that. But I'll go to a Friday morning showing. Go Friday morning at 9:30, 10 in the morning. Hey man, there's nobody there. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about it being crowded or anything. Nobody goes on a Friday morning. Like there's like a handful of other nerds like me who will be there on a Friday morning, and that's not a bad thing. And when speaking of going to the movie theaters, what have you guys ever had a bad movie theater experience? Like something bad happen? Now, bad is obviously a perspective. I mean, I've had some funny stuff happen. I'm not sure if I told you all the story, but yeah, I had a. I guess you would say it was an experience. It wasn't bad. I was just like, you got to tell people to. Sometimes you got to put people in their places, I guess. But let me know down in the comments below if you've ever had a bad theater experience and what happened and what'd you do. Because like one time I remember I was at the theater and I can't remember what movie it was, but me and my wife were there, and this is we probably weren't didn't have the kids, and all just we were probably still dating at that point, but we went to the movie theater. I can't remember what movie it was we were there watching, but the kid sitting right next to me, there was like a string of like, I don't know, 5 or 6 teenage kids sitting there with each other, and we were towards the back of the theater, and it must have just been the only seats we could find because I don't normally sit towards the back of the theater, but we were there towards the back, or maybe we were just wanting to make out. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I never did that at the theaters. But so we're sitting there, the movie's going, and this kid pulls out his phone, sitting there texting on it, and I just look over and I get ready to say something, he put it away. I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. And they weren't like really, the kids weren't really like being loud. I mean, they were just like kind of whispering to each other. They were trying to be quiet. They were at least doing that. But and for a group of them, I'll admit it wasn't that bad for a group of for a group of teenagers. But this kid, he pulled it out a second time, and he was sitting there on the phone for a little while, and I just sat there, and I just kind of leaned over and kind of got in his space and started staring at his phone too, and he you could see he kind of looked at me out of the side of his eye. He kind of did that thing, and it was just he did it a couple times, and I'm just sitting there. By that point, after he had it out for a few seconds, I'm just sitting there just like all like leaned over, looking. I wasn't even looking at his phone anymore. I was looking right at him, and he couldn't avoid it. I was like, that better be important. He put it away. He didn't even finish his text. He put it away. But yeah, that was just one of the movie experiences that I had, and that wasn't even really a bad one. It's just like, you know what, like I'll say something. You know what I mean? I'll say something when somebody's being like that. Like put your phone away, man. Put your phone away. Like we're trying to watch a movie here. Shoot. Of course, I guess that's probably what I get for going on I'm sure it was a Friday evening. It might have been a Saturday evening. That's when the teenage kids usually go there. But Maverick Pilgrim says Monsters Inc. Yeah, always watching Wazowski. Yeah, I love that movie. That's the one thing I miss about going to Disneyland. We used to be annual pass holders. We just didn't the past couple of years because the Galaxy's Edge wasn't open. They had a bunch. They were going through the renovations on the California Adventure side, so the Pixar Land was just being redone, and they're doing stuff now. So it's kind of like, okay, well, glad we don't have them this year either. We're thinking about it, doing it again next year, but yeah. So but that's one of the things we miss about being there is that ride. The Monsters Inc. ride. I love that movie. That movie is great. Plus, I mean, what is it? John Goodman, Billy Crystal? How can you beat that, right? Billy Crystal's great. Too bad he's getting, he's getting older. It'd be great to see him in so much more stuff, man. He was always so awesome. Terrazon says, baby brought to Endgame, crying until I yelled to take them out. Finally, they did. Others clapped. Oh, I know. Isn't that the worst? Like I get it. Like if you take your baby with you and they start to cry, hey, I'm all good with that as long as you take the if you can't quiet down the baby, leave the theater. And you don't have to not leave the theater, but like go down the little hallway, go to work. You're not bugging anybody. Calm the kid down and that kinds of stuff. But like even my kid, my son, I take my kids to the movies all the time, and I have since they were babies. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. And I'll still agree with you, Tara, that that's the worst. Because my babies were always good at the theater. They were quiet. They watched the movie. They hardly ever cried when we were there. The worst case was my son. And when he was a baby, it's not that he was crying or anything. It's just that when he was little and he was able to like get up and kind of walk around and move around, like he would get bored sitting there at the movie theater, and he'd just and you can't just leave him in your lap because then he starts to fuss and he starts to struggle, and because he don't want to sit there because he just wants to get up and play. So eventually we just kind of just and a lot of the times we go to the theater, he's not it's not usually packed, But so he would just take and walk up and down the aisle, and maybe he'd go down to the end and would go down a stair or two, go into the next row, and again, not a lot of people there, so he wasn't really bugging people. But it's just kind of like for the people that were there, we're just like, just let him go. And if it was we'd always tell him, if there was people around us, we'd tell him, hey, don't be going that way. Don't just calm down. Just calm down. We'd try to we'd keep him reeled in a little bit, but other than that, we just let him burn his energy. But he was never loud. He was never loud as long as you kind of just let him get down and do his thing. And there was a couple of times we had to set him down, hold him just like shh, because he was just being overactive. But we always made sure for him to not be a disruption, because that's one of the things I despise too. I hate that. As a matter of fact, one time we were at the movie theater, and I can't remember what movie we went to go see. Me and my wife, we took my two, I think it was just my two daughters at the time. I don't think my son was born yet. But we were there watching the movie, and after the movie, I always stay. I don't care what movie it is. I always stay through the end credits. I always stay till the end. You never know what kind of movies have some of those bonus credits. It's not just MCU movies. They certainly didn't start that. One of my favorites was on Ghost World. If you guys ever seen Ghost World, but. So we're sitting there at the movie theater. The credits were rolling, and this older couple, they're walking out, down the aisle, and they're getting ready to leave. And the old lady, she turns to me and my wife. She goes, I just wanted to tell you guys have the best kids, because when we seen you guys first walk in with the kids, we were about to leave, because most people's kids are just usually loud and everything, but your kids are really really well behaved, and they were quiet the whole time. I just wanted to tell you guys, that you're doing a good job, or something like that. And we're just kind of thank you, and we're lucky, we're lucky in that way, that our kids have always been good and been quiet and stuff like that, and then our kids are really good anyway, like my kids make me proud every day, you know what I mean? They really do. And I'm not just saying that as a parent, like, oh, my kid. No, they do. They literally do. I don't know. They're just good kids. They're nice to people. They're considerate. I do need to get them to say please and thank you more. But that's really about it. So my kids do make me proud every day, and that was actually, it was nice to hear that from somebody, because believe me, I know exactly what that lady means. I feel the same way, and that's the thing. I feel the same way, and and I'll segue into my bad theater experience here in just a minute. But I want to see if there's a couple of more here. PSP05 says, I'd rather watch my shit dry. I'd rather watch my shit dry and turn gray than watch Rambo. That's funny. That's funny. I've liked all the Rambo movies. I just haven't seen the trailer for this one, so I'm not really like anticipating or anything. So I'll probably get out to see it this weekend. But that's funny. Oh, and I just like them. Just like the last Rambo movie was really good. I liked the last one. And again, I haven't seen the trailer for this new Rambo, so I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it one way or another. But that's funny. I feel kind of the same way about that new Terminator movie. Like that new Terminator movie seems like it's one of those kind of movies too, where I'm like, I might rather watch my poop dry. That's I guess a fair summation. Um, and I don't know. I think that's just because of how big of a disappointment I know the past couple of Rambo films have been for everybody. I haven't seen all of them. I think I've seen one of them with Jai Courtney. Yeah, I think he was in the one of them. And I like these kind of movies anyways, futuristic dystopian kind of. That one's not really so cyberpunkish so much, but it's like it got that same kind of premise to it. I like those kind of movies. And yeah, I know that one I watched with Jai Courtney. It was pretty sure it was Jai Courtney in that, wasn't it? Wasn't it? I think it was him in there. It was okay. I mean, um, at some point you kind of, I don't know, you don't expect so much, or you do, out of a film or anything like that. So I think that maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is too. And this Rambo one, I mean, I think it's certainly long overdue. I think we could have got different movies, Rambo movies throughout the years. Just same as Rocky. Those are just kind of like timeless classics that you could watch. That you could watch a lot. And they could easily do different like newer versions of, and kind of keep it going. It kind of makes me wonder: are we going to get a new Jack Reacher anytime soon? Is there going to be a third Jack Reacher movie? Because the second one with Kobe Smulders, and I love Kobe Smulders. The last Jack Reacher movie, it was okay. It definitely wasn't like the first one. The first one was good. You know, that first Jack Reacher movie was great. And plus, I mean, maybe it's possibly because Rosamund Pike. I just don't think that she made the film though. But that easily that could be it. Um, but yeah, the yeah, I don't know. Are we gonna get another Jack Reacher? I think that'd be great. Russell Wells Benjamin, thank you for being here. Tommy, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. Okay, Maverick Pilgrim says went to a midnight showing of one of the Harry Potters with my pregnant wife. So many dumb kids hooping and hollering, and my wife kept complaining of her stomach hurting. Turned out, oh man, turned out we lost the baby. That's man. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's rough. That's a hard thing to go through. Um, Maverick says I don't go to opening night shows anymore. Yeah. Man, that's terrible, man. That's sad. And I'm, my condolence for that. I know that's a hard thing to go through, and and I will commend you definitely on this is that you're still with your wife because I know that there's a lot of people out there who end up losing kids, um uh, just any of those kinds of things. They're hard to do anyway. I mean, we should never have to bury our children, especially babies. Um, you know, no, no, I mean nobody should have to do that, and it breaks up a lot of relationships. It really does. It does. Because it's a hard thing to go through. Like people aren't always emotionally available or so open emotionally with themselves, or can't just cope and deal with those kinds of things. And it's understandable. I certainly can't blame people for that, but the people who go through that kind of thing and make it through, I think they end up even being stronger, you know what I mean, in their relationships and stuff like that. But that's rough, man. I feel for you, dude. That's terrible. That's terrible. um I'm not really sure I can. Yeah, I'm not really sure there's much else I could say about that without getting myself all emotional and teary. I mean, it's kind of happening in the first place here. And that's terrible. I don't. I honestly don't even want to tell you what my worst one is at this point because yeah, that's terrible, man. And again, I'm I'm sad to hear that, man. I really am. I really am. That's bad, and obviously it wasn't just due to this one experience, at the show. It wasn't due to that, but I understand. Yeah, like yeah, that's definitely a bad tarnishing for a movie going experience. I'm misguided says, what's up? I say we give LB some crap next time. Yes, I'm not sure if you guys follow LB over at the Lonely Banter, but yesterday he did a nice little hour long live stream. It was funny too because I was out in my garage. I got a load of freight in for my work yesterday. For my business. And I was out in the garage working with my kids, and I had LB's live stream on, and I can't remember what it was titled. Something like "Saying Goodbye" or something like that. And he was going on like he has this important message to tell everybody. And everybody's on there like, "Ooh, what is it?" for the whole hour. And the first little bit, it was cool. Like it was kind of funny. He was just talking to everybody, just interacting. And then he started really beating around the bush. It was absolutely hilarious. I kind of got in the chats every now and again and was leaving him comments because I was busy working with my kids. So he's going on. I'm like, I can only imagine what's going on in the comments section because he went on for a whole hour just beating around the bush about this important announcement that he had to make. And I think he made the announcement in like the last 2 minutes of the show. It was hilarious. If you guys don't follow LB over at the Lonely Banter, you should get here on YouTube and go follow him. That's his channel is the Lonely Banter. I think if you want to look up his actual channel, you go. It's youtube.com/Word of South. I think that's his URL, but you should definitely go check it out. It was pretty funny. Plus, LB is a super cool dude, and not many people could sit there and hold the audience and hold them captive that long for that announcement and get away with it. But LB, he certainly can. But yeah, that was and I'm not going to tell you what all happened in the video because you have to watch it for yourself. You have to watch it for yourself, or you had to have been there. And most importantly, that's the most important thing. You had to have been there, because he may have taken the stream down. He might have just made it private or whatnot, just because he was probably just having fun and doesn't worried about the watch time and stuff from it like I would. You know what I mean? I'm not even 1,000 subscribers. I'm not monetized. I worry about every single watch minute. Believe me, videos, I don't delete them. I don't care how bad it is. Sometimes I upload videos just to upload videos, just to get watch time, just to get likes and dislikes. I'm just kidding. I don't. I don't. But I am worried about that kind of stuff. I am, I swear. That's why if you want, you should make sure that you're subscribed, and make sure you hit that like button or the dislike button, because YouTube told me to tell you to, because sometimes we need to be told what to do. And I certainly find that even for myself, sometimes I got to be told what to do. I'll be watching a video and I'll forget to hit the like button, and somebody's like, make sure you hit that like button. I'm like, dang, I forgot to hit the like button. So I guess it works. I guess it does work. So I guess it does work. Make sure you hit that like button. Okay. Tommy says LB was just messing with everyone. Yeah, that was fun, man. That was fun, and I don't know how many other people could do quite that and make it so entertaining and fun. Maverick Pilgrim says we have 4 beautiful girls on. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Um, God, what was it? I can't remember. I seen and then and that's good though. Four beautiful kids. We've got 3. We've been very fortunate, and everything. I mean, with our kids just being so great and everything, we've been very fortunate ourselves, blessed, I guess you would say. Um, but I remember seeing this show. God, I think it was on like Dr. Phil. Like there was this guy, this couple. They had kids. I think they had triplets. As a matter of fact, I think they had triplets, and they were in a automobile accident, automobile collision, with this guy. I'm not sure if the guy was drunk or what I can't remember what the deal was, but the guy had hit this family in their car, and it killed the 3 babies. It killed all 3 of their kids, and he felt, obviously he felt bad about it for years. And this was like one of those shows that was like telling the future, because this had happened in the past, and they brought him to the show. The guy who hit him and everything on the show, he had, you could see on the show they brought the guy out. He was really sad, and it turns out that couple, not even trying to, they ended up having, they ended up trying to have kids again. Even after that, that's a traumatic experience. They losing 3 kids, especially at once. So they went ahead and tried to had kids again, and then they ended up having triplets. They didn't even plan it. Obviously you can't plan for triplets, but they had triplets again, and I think this time instead of having like 2 girls and a boy, it was like 2 boys and a girl. It was like something obvious. So you know, um, the world is like that. I mean, it all. A lot of times, if we go ahead and roll with the punches, I guess you would say, the world is going to balance out. I mean, everything balances itself out. And had anything happened in a different way, you wouldn't be where you are now. You know what I mean? And had something went different in your past or even your wife's past, I mean, just think about how all of that stuff could swing the pendulum in such a different way. You know what I mean? As far as things that affecting your your lives and the course of our lives and things that happen. What I mean? All it takes is just like one decision. What I mean? What is that? Like that Ashton Kutcher film. What do they call the butterfly effect? Yeah, that's what it is. It's like that, and it really is like that, like you sit there and think about like, oh man, if I could have went back and done this different, things would be so differently now, and they would be. They would be. Sometimes even over the littlest decision, the littlest thing, and I think about that constantly. I think about a lot of stuff times, like when I had jobs, like even thinking back right now, if I just think about right now, at my old job, had I got this certain promotion either earlier or later, or gotten a certain promotion instead of something had come up earlier or later than others, where would I be now? Would I, like what would have happened? What would have been different? I would like to think that I am me, and I'm an adult, and I'm who I am, and that things would have pretty much went the same way that they did, but ultimately they would be different. You know what I mean? Maybe that one promotion is something that would have got me promoted even more. And instead of being, a small business owner now, maybe I'm working for this big corporation in a big position, in a higher position than I ever thought possible. Or ever even wanted to. Just because of, one decision made differently then, as opposed to, what ended up happening, weird thing. Which is what ultimately complicates movies, just like Avengers Endgame, when they're jumping back and forth into the future and into the past and all those kinds of things, right? Yeah. But that's awesome. Tommy says he took it down. Last I checked, the video was grayed out. Oh, okay, yeah. I kind of figured, he's monetized and all that kind of stuff. He was just there having fun and hanging out with everybody. Aggressively relaxing says calls to action like subscribe have been proven to work, but you feel so lame saying it. I keep trying to get telemarketers to say smash that like button and hit subscribe, but they hang up. Yes, and I can see that. I can definitely see you doing that. You got to get them to tell it though, and that's the thing is like trying to work that in there. I try to do the same thing, work that in there, get people, because you're right. I mean, the call to action is the important thing, and that's what a lot of people, you hear a lot of people say like, man, like getting these views, getting good views and stuff, it just like you can't get people to subscribe and to like and all this stuff, and it's hard. And you're certainly right, it does take a call to action. You don't just expect that anybody's going to do it. I mean, you can't expect people to do that. I mean, you have to tell them. Sometimes I think it's the way in which we tell them though that ultimately makes the difference. Like me, my thing is, I open up, I say, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Trinity. Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. We're going to talk about this and that today. But before I get into that, make sure you subscribe, click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Because I don't want to click the little bell, like and subscribe. And I usually put a graphic in my videos that says all that, because I also believe that it's not just hearing, but it's also seeing too. So I think there's a double thing to go there. So I always make sure to flash that little graphic up there and all that stuff. And I can't say that it's proven that it's worked for me. I just know that I do it because it's definitely good to have the call to action there. And plus I do it the subscribe and all that good stuff because I think it's kind of funny, and to me I think a lot of times, people want to laugh, don't they? There's some people out there that are sticks in the mud and don't ever want to laugh. I'll tell you that. Tommy says every step of our path of life changes events and circumstances that affect what we do and who we are. Agreed. I highly agree with that. And that's why, like, I'm one of these people, like, you won't see me, like, anywhere on any kind of social media. Even on, like, Facebook, I don't block people. I mean, I might not be your friend. I might unfriend you and stuff. Like, if I'm like, okay, like, I can't put up with this dude's stuff anymore. Like, and we don't talk that much anyway, man. Like, I'm just going to not be your friend. But, like, I don't block people, because the one thing is that I kind of believe is just that is I need to hear everybody's input, output, however it be. I mean, I need to take all thoughts and everything. I need to hear all that. I need to see all of that. And believe me, I don't need to see all of it in a lot of cases, but I like to take it all in because it really, that really ultimately helps form, maybe solidify our thoughts or gives us more data to run off of. Like, okay, like these certain group of people, they act like this. Okay, well, I know some people who aren't like that, but for the most part, I get it because everywhere we see, like, especially on social media, these group of people is like this. You know what I mean? Or like you see how like, oh, I see how this person acts when they're online, but when you meet them in person it's not like that. Just different things like that. We take all that kind of stuff in, and we all know that even all of us do that. We all act a little bit differently online than we do in person, and that's not whether it's good or bad. Some people act a lot more nicer and innocent online than they do in person. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's that, because honestly, if somebody's meeting you online for the first time, first impressions mean a lot, right? Right? I don't know. For me, I try not to go off that. I try to go off of not just first impressions, because I mean, I think a lot of people take people's first impressions maybe the wrong way, or maybe they're looking too much into it sometimes. But what I do, especially if it's somebody I meet in person, I can feel vibes off of people. You know what I mean? Like, I can feel like there was one of my managers at my old store. I knew I couldn't be around this dude. I just couldn't. I think he was on drugs for one, and I think he was like always tweaking and stuff. Like because he like I couldn't be around him. Like I could, and it wasn't just like him. Because I mean, there was times like he was nice, he was cool, but like I could just feel this like energy coming off of him, and I didn't like it. Made me feel gross, Like it physically made me feel sick. Just being around this dude, because I could feel, I'm sure there was more to it, but I'm like, I don't even want to look into that, But yeah, I mean, yeah. But yes, they every event certainly does. Tommy says, only people I have ever blocked are porn spammers. All right, okay, all right. I guess fair enough. Fair enough. I'll give you that. I get it. Yeah. Okay. And on my phone, I guess I do too. I block all those spam caller phone numbers and stuff. So aggressively relaxing. If you're ever out there trying to spam call me, I might block you. No, but really, you could. And if you guys want to know what I do for a business, there's links down in the description where you can go and find that out. Look under the Peanut Peddler. I think I have a page here on YouTube. I haven't done far enough videos on. I've also got a Facebook page and everything like that for my business as well. It's called the Peanut Peddler. But believe me, and go ahead and give me a spam call, aggressively relaxing. You'll find my number out there, I'm sure. You will. It's not too hard if you look up the Peanut Peddler. And are you going to record it? Am I going to be in a video? But yeah, I certainly block those phone numbers of those spam callers. And sometimes I think maybe I shouldn't, because they all call anyway. They're still going to call anyway. Robert from Sensible Business Credit, he calls on a bunch of different lines throughout the day too. One day he's in Southern California. Next thing you know, he's in New Mexico. Next thing you know, he's in the Bronx. Next thing you know, he's in New Jersey. Next thing you know, he's down in Florida. I'm like, dude, Robert from Sensible Business Credit, you're a busy dude, man. Like you must have a private jet, because like you fly like back and forth. Okay, I guess it could be your cell phone. It could be your cell phone. But I don't think it is. I don't know, man. But yeah, okay. So getting back to bad theater experiences, I'm gonna go ahead and get into mine. And like I said, it's not a bad theater experience. It was just something funny that happened. And I think I talked about this on the show before. I went to see, what was it, Jurassic World? Was that the last one that just came out at the theater? I was out at Jurassic World, and this was last year, obviously, when the movie came out. And I just broke my collarbone. Broke it in a cycling accident. I mean, I guess that's really all you could call it. You could call it a collision, but it was me colliding with the ground. So I was there. Had some bandages on it. Post surgery and everything. Had to have my arm in a sling, so it wouldn't move and all that stuff. And so I'm going to the movie theater, and it's all reserved seating and everything, for the most part on these big movies, like on, they're for most of the time it's reserved anyway. But so I had my tickets, bought my tickets, and it was, when I got there, it was a pretty full theater. It was pretty full. But I'm walking down the aisle. Got my water and everything. I sat down to watch the movie, and as I'm walking by, there's this family there. I'm walking by, and I'm sitting down, and when I sat down, and the lady goes, "Next time, I'm just gonna buy the whole row, so we don't have to sit next to anybody." I'm just like, whatever. So we're sitting there watching. The trailers are playing and everything, and they're sitting there. This lady and her family, they're sitting there, talking it up, and I'm like, whatever. It's the previews. Trailers. I'm not that worried about it. You can be on your phone for all I care during the trailers, and have it all. But the second that damn movie starts, you better turn that stuff off and put it away and zip it. You know what I mean? That's one of the So anyway, sitting there watching the movie, and this lady had made a couple other like backhanded comments, obviously not talking to me, to her husband or whatnot, and I'm just kind of like, whatever, and but so sitting there going throughout the movie, like, I don't know, it was probably a little past halfway, but they just kept going on throughout the movie. I thought it was going to stop. Like, at the very beginning, it was, they kind of made a couple comments, It's these people that have to fucking talk the whole movie. They're sitting there talking the whole movie. I'm telling you, like, just, like, and not even just, like, oh, like, little jump scares or whatnot. Just, no, like, talking. And so I'm sitting there. I think it was just a little over halfway through the movie. And I mean, they're going on like, have you guys ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000? Have you ever seen that show? The guy with the robots, and they're sitting there commentating on all the movies, you know, like being funny. Hilarious show. Hilarious show. I love that show. Matter of fact, we went to the theater one time and watched the Starship Troopers riff tracks of that, and it was great. It was gold. I loved that. But it was like that. These people were just sitting there like commenting, just talking like the whole damn movie, and it was a little over halfway. Like at first it just kind of, it was a little bit, and then it just kind of got to go on and on. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, why don't you just, you know, let's just all stop. Let's just stop the movie and listen to your conversation that you're having going on here. But so it got a little bit halfway. I was getting ready to say something. Right when I was getting ready to say something, the guy gets up and he goes to the restroom. I was like, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait because I'm not gonna say something to her because she was the one doing most of the talking. I'm not gonna say nothing to her because her husband's gone. I don't want to think like, I'm some sort of chicken shit or anything like that. So I wait because I know it's gonna happen again. So he gets back. He gets back from the restroom. But this one, I mean, I've had it. He gets back, and sure enough, they start talking. And like I said, it's not just like oh, it's not stuff like that. Like they're sitting like, oh, did you see that? And so it happened again, and so it got to a point, and I just leaned over, and I didn't say it all quietly. I just said, "Ma'am, I agree with you. Next time you come to the movie, just buy the whole row so nobody has to sit here and listen to your commentary the whole movie." And the guy was sitting there. He's it was like I punched him in the face because and even the lady, she's like, "What? What do you say, motherfucker?" But the guy, he was sitting there like I punched him. He's like, "What?" Like seriously, like I punched him and like he had stars. Like what? And they started yelling. She threw her popcorn on me. He stands up. He gets in my face and he's all talking trash, and I said, I had a broken collarbone, my shit was busted up, but I just sat there and he's sitting there talking all tough like he's gonna beat my ass, and I said, dude, just sit down and shut up. You ain't gonna do nothing. Just sit down and shut up so we can watch the movie. And he's like, oh, you're lucky, this and that, and blah 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 blah. And I said, dude, just sit down and shut the F up. We just want to watch the movie. And he's like, oh, says his stuff and goes and sits down, and I'm just like, Jesus, man, But I said something. I believe me, I said something, and she's all sitting there and talking to him, and so I thought that was it. Sits down, she threw her popcorn, they're sitting there kind of going, well, and then she kept dragging out. She's like, oh, the whole rest of me, motherfucking like talking trash, and several times I just turned to him. I just said, please, just shut the F up. We're trying to watch a movie. Just shut up. I told him this several times. Sorry if that's getting a little bit loud there. I told him, I said, I just shut up. Just shut up. And the other family member, she's sitting there like, one down the way, she goes, I still got my full soda here. You want to be wearing it? I said, lady, you do whatever you want to with your soda. Could you just shut the hell up so we can watch the movie? They didn't shut up. They did for a minute. They did for, last couple of minutes of the movie. They eventually shut up. But man, I'm sitting there. And I was just sitting there at the theater, just like, I was amused. I'll tell you, I was amused with myself. It completely ruined the movie for me, but I was amused with myself because I'm just like, I said something, and these people look like assholes now because I'm being reasonable and telling them to shut the hell up, man. Like they were seriously holding on conversations worse than the teenage kid who pulled out his phone and was sitting there texting. Worse than that. I mean, they were worse than teenage kids running up and down the aisles being all crazy. Like they were sitting there having conversations through the movie, and not like they weren't like quiet. They weren't like they were talking out loud, just as loud as I'm talking right now through the damn movie, and nobody else said nothing. And I know nobody else was gonna say nothing, but I had enough, man, because I'm sitting there right next to the people, right next to him, and I'm like, I can't not say anything. I can't not say anything. And yeah, I was waiting for dude to do something because I'm like, dude, like I'm sitting down with a broken arm. I don't give a shit. And I even told him that too. I said, dude, I don't care. I'll have a broken arm. I'll still kick your ass. Just sit down and shut up. I just don't like. I don't. I said something, but god dang, man. I didn't pay to. I didn't. It wasn't a riff track showing. It wasn't the Mystery Science Theater 3000 showing of Jurassic World, which they should probably do. It wasn't that. It was these people. They were doing the same thing. I don't need your commentary over a movie. You know what I mean? I don't care if I was at the movie theater and I paid to see this movie at the movie theater and they had the directors there and everything, and the directors stood up there and they started talking. I'd be like, just shut up. I'm trying to watch the movie. I don't want to hear your commentary over it. Dang, man. Yeah. And that's just, ah, I just can't with these people. I just can't. I just can't. We don't have to hear your commentary at the movie theater. That's my worst. That's my worst experience, I think, by far. Is that, and and yeah, it pales in comparison to many other people's, actually, to many other people's worst theater experience. But that was my worst one. And I was actually involved in that one. Some would say I caused it, but it wasn't me that caused it. I just did something about it. And yes, I was leaving the theater, watching like, where are these dudes at? Because they were acting like they wanted something. I'm sitting there like, walking out the theater, watching, keeping my eye on, like, where are these people at? They got something to say now? Oh no, they took off. They took off mid credits. When the credits started rolling, they were gone. Effing people. Tommy says, as a teenager, I seen the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in theaters back in 1990. Bunch of us thought it would be cool to be in first row and lay on the floor and look up at the screen. we were getting stuck to the floor. Oh man, yeah, and that's the worst too, man. I don't care how clean your movie theater is. It seems like them damn floors are always sticky. Always sticky. Like they need to come through with like the hazmat team and clean that stuff up, man. Yeah. Oh man, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I did see that at the theater too when I was a kid. I love that movie. That first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Man, Tommy. So that means you're probably somewhere right up there around my age then, because I'm 40. So you got to be somewhere close to that to have seen that at the movie theater, going there with your friends and all that stuff. So, yeah. Terrazon says kids talked during A Quiet Place until I yelled, "Yo, enough." I scared them and they were silent the rest of the time. Shy isn't my nature. Me neither, you know what I mean? Like, and believe me, I'm not like some sort of tough guy or nothing either. I don't have a record for going out and being aggressive and beating people up. But I'm 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 not afraid of confrontation. Okay, I'm not afraid of confrontation. We'll put it that way. I'm not afraid of the confrontation, and yeah, and that's A Quiet Place. I haven't seen A Quiet Place. I need to watch that one because I've heard that's such a great movie. Isn't that the one directed by Krasinski? I think that's the one by Krasinski. I need to watch that one because I like Krasinski too, man. He's great. But yeah, and the thing is, you just gotta say something because in most cases, most people are gonna be like, oh, like sorry, and typically, if you, especially Tara, if you're somebody like me who's gonna say something, you have a feel for the situation and how exactly you need to approach it. Like if there's just somebody sitting there on their phone being annoying, you can just to them like, hey, you mind? Could you not be on your cell phone? But you can also tell if they're the kind of people that you got to be like, hey, turn that shit off, man. I'm trying to watch a movie. You know what approaches you're gonna have to take with people at times. At least I do. I don't know. I got a feel for people. I think most of the time I got a pretty good radar for those kinds of things. That's why I see here in my local community we got these local scanner pages where people talk and post about a lot of stuff. And I noticed there's like a lot of these people. These people are adults, older than me, that are afraid to say something to somebody. You know what I mean? They're afraid to say something like, oh, my neighbor's being loud, and should I call the cops? Call the cops. You can't just go next door to your neighbor and just knock on the door and be like, hey, like it's kind of late. We're trying to get to sleep. I mean, can you turn it down like at least a little? Try to work with me here. I mean, like, and tell them I don't want to call the cops or anything, and I'm certainly not going to call the cops because they're just going to come out here and tell you to turn it down, and you're going to turn it right back up anyway. So, but could you do me a favor? Just turn it down, But these people out here, no, man. Like some of these people where I live at, they're like, oh, no, I can't go talk to my neighbor like that. I don't know who they are or what they do. What if they pull out a gun on me? Like, that's your neighbor. Just go talk to him. just go ask them, if they could be nice and, tell them, just explain your situation. Because to me, you just get, you're having that problem and you just call the cops. You're just being a dick. You might as well just go up and knock on their door and say, hey, and let them know that you're a dick, pretty much, and that's, being a dick isn't going over there saying, hey, could you keep it down? I'm trying to go to sleep. That's not being a dick. That's just being reasonable. But, being a dick would be over there, hey, you need to keep it down. I'm going to call the cops and now, you know what I mean? That's, you might as well just go, just go over there and just tell them, hey, could you turn it down? But no, man, I'm telling you, these people are like, oh, go talk to them. I don't know what they're going to do. There's a bunch of people over there. Like, what are they gonna? Are they just like? Are they gonna call the whole party out and jump you right there in the front yard? Like, I don't know. I'm just not that person. I'll go say something if it's that big of a problem. We had our neighbor here, a couple doors down from me. Behind us. They had, man, they had, and apparently this guy's a cop too. Imagine that. Had like this big old party, man. It was friggin' loud. I mean, they went to like 2, 3 in the morning easily. They were being friggin' loud. I mean, they had like a DJ. They had. It was crazy. But like me, I don't really care, man. Dude, I'll fall asleep. I'll fall asleep in the middle of a big old I don't know what kind of plant, where it's somewhere where it's noisy and everything. I could fall asleep in that. I'm not saying I'll like it, but I can, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna go interrupt somebody's party, man. It's no big deal. Now, if it wakes me up, I might feel a little bit differently. But most, like I don't know, maybe I just kind of easy. And sometimes I think maybe it's just because I feel like I'm probably the loudest neighbor. When somebody else does it, I'm like, good on you, man. But if I'm that bothered by it, I'll go confront him and just be like, hey, can you turn it down a little bit? We're in a neighborhood. And this all makes me think of too, like the whole theater going experience. And what happened to me is, you ever watch that Seinfeld episode with George, where they were sitting there and he was doing everything opposite? That's what it was. It was the opposite. The one where George did everything opposite, where he went to the movie theater. He actually asked out that beautiful lady at the diner, which was Michelle Pfeiffer's sister. He asked her out on the movie because he's doing everything opposite from what he would normally do, from his normal instincts. And the people were there loud at the theater, and the lady, his date, she was like, should I say something? He's like, no, I got this. And then he turned around and just flips out on him. Like that. I'm not afraid to do that. That was a great episode too. Tommy says, get loud, man. Nothing wrong with passion. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Like I said, I like to keep, I don't like, one of the things I was talking about that yesterday is when I come to a channel, I don't like to hear things all too loud and crazy, where things start clipping and you get that bad audio. Yeah. That's what that's all about. 19K Fox, welcome to the live stream. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you for being here. Getting ready to wrap it up here in a few minutes, but before I want to go, I want to remind you guys once again, because YouTube is telling me to, make sure you smash that like button, and leave comments, okay? That was YouTube twisting my arm. Yeah, hit that like button, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Share it with a friend. Tell them to come hang out with us. We have a good time here, I always try to have a good time here. And I also want to thank, once again, my Patreon supporters, people who have decided to support the channel with as little as $1 a month. There's some links down there. You can go toss $1 a month. It's nothing important. You certainly don't have to do it. Just stuff, for people who want to help support the channel. I'm not monetized or anything. It'll probably be a while before I get there. And again, I'm not too worried about that anyway, because what people worry about when they do the monetization thing is they're putting ads in their videos. And me, like I've told you guys this before, me, the way I look at it is, if I had, say, 1/3 of my audience all just donating $1 a month, I mean, it keeps me from having to put ads in videos once I ever get monetized, and if I ever have to, you know what I mean? Because like, if I get to, if this channel ever blows up and gets to be something I would like it to be, I mean, I'm not trying to make a career out of this, but if it got to that point where I was doing these in my videos or live streams, where I didn't have to put them in there because my awesome Patreon supporters, my awesome supporters of the channel, supporting the content here, I won't do it because I hate watching commercials myself. So, and like I said, I figure even if 1/3 of them are putting in just $1, that's a lot, because like right now I'm sitting at, I think, 450 subscribers, somewhere right around there. If only 1/3 of them was just donating $1, like right now, that would be what, 400? So we're roughly looking at, I don't know, 100, just over $150, right? Well, yeah, about $150, so then, so I can upgrade stuff like that. But again, it's nothing important. I'm a small channel, so I completely understand. And you're certainly, I can't do super chats or anything like that, but I'm certainly not going to limit you guys to any of those kinds of things. It's absolutely silly. It's just if you guys have a buck and want to donate and help support the channel, it is greatly appreciated. But there are links down there, and I just appreciate you guys being here in the first place. Most importantly, that's why I appreciate you guys being here. The people who show up to these live streams, whether it's mine or anybody else's, you guys really help grow our channels. You guys are important to us, and we really learn a lot from you guys as well, like with your input and things like that. And certainly, if you're donating $1 and going to be a Patreon supporter, we definitely value your guys' input a lot more. So if you want to, it's nothing important. Like I said, I'm going to be here flapping my gums and entertaining you all in the first place. But I will soon be, and if you are a Patreon supporter, please let me know what I can do for you, because I need to do more like streams and just things exclusively for my Patreon supporters. I know I need to do that, and I want to do that because I know, like, one of my favorite channels, the Den of Nerds, they've really stepped up their game on their Patreon these last few months, and really brought some value to it. Like, I was supporting them anyway just to support their channel, the same way any of my Patreon supporters do. And thank you all once again for being Patreon supporters. Is I just supported them anyway, just like $1, because I support their content. Actually, I think I was doing like $5 a month just because I support their content. It's a great channel that I like, and I understand Josh is trying to make a business out of it and do a lot of that stuff. So I'm like, here, dude, like, I know you do put a lot into your channel. I know you do a lot. I'm more than willing to support your content because I like your content and exactly what he does. So I want to bring some more of that kind of value to my Patreon supporters here soon. I just need to think of exactly what I could do for them. And one thing I was thinking about doing was exactly like tonight, as you guys know, every single Friday night I do a show called the Trailer Park Live, where I talk about my comic books and I get in and talk about some of the different things that that have just happened throughout the week. And I usually hang out for about 90 minutes, 2 hours. It's gone on longer at times. Just it's more of a rated R show. I'm there cursing and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And just giving more of my unfiltered thoughts because on my videos, I try to keep it. Like I said, here on my channel, I'm trying to get people into these things. If people aren't reading comic books, I want to get people into reading comic books. So even when there's a book like a Chastity that I don't really like, that I bought this specifically just to review, on the Trailer Park Live, you guys know I'll go ahead and I'll run this through the ringer. But in my video, I want to tell people what this book is about, how good the artwork is and everything in it. Because just because I don't like it doesn't mean that somebody else won't like it or doesn't like it. So I got to present it in that sort of way. And that's what I do shows like the Trailer Park Live for, where I sit down and it's more unfiltered. And I only do those once a week, and they are very fun to do. Although they are taxing for me. Fridays are some of my busiest days. I've got 3 kids. I've got a family. Just all the same things that you guys got. So. But being here on the production end of it, doing 90 minutes out of my evening, it's a lot. It's a lot. But for me, it is a lot. But, it's so much fun to actually be here and doing that show because I think, it's kind of a release, because I'm there going more rated R, being a little more extreme. It's also kind of relieving. You know what I mean? It's kind of relaxing to get that stuff out there. And tonight we're gonna have quite a show. I'm gonna have quite a bit to say. I did get several of my comic books read this week, and got several of them read. Got some things. We'll talk a little bit more about those on the Trailer Park Live. But then there's also just been some other cool things going on throughout the week. Just things I kind of want to comment on, and that may have to do with other YouTubers out there in the community with some of those kinds of things as well. As in case you guys haven't noticed, there's been just like a lot of we know that with social media and movies and just everything that's been going on these days, there's a whole lot of divide in fan communities, whether it's Star Wars, Marvel, or really even like comic books or anything. There's this kind of divide now. It just seems to be perpetuated by social media even more, because we all get to voice our opinions, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just some people don't like you to have your own opinion. Some people don't like hearing other people's opinions and just things like that. So we've got some of that we're going to talk about this evening. And there's been some interesting things going on this week. Been some pretty interesting things going on this week. And we'll get into those tonight. We'll definitely get into those tonight because, like I said, there's been a lot of how would you say There's been a lot of discourse out there, and not even just in like people who are, like have different viewpoints, but people who, even within their own communities are having kind of these little battles, almost on a daily basis, because everybody has different opinions, everybody has different thoughts, even people who feel the same way about certain things. um and you guys see I'm beating around the bush right now, just like my homie LB, about these kinds of things right now, because I want to save it for the for the show tonight. But I think you guys know what I'm talking about. We see there are even divide amongst people who feel the same way about certain things, because it's a community. And everybody has different thoughts, and everybody approaches things differently. Everybody handles things differently, and everybody expresses it differently. And everybody takes it different ways differently. You know what I mean? And I've been fortunate. I've been lucky. And I've been fortunate throughout my whole life, I guess. And I guess we kind of attract who we are, just other people, like-minded people and stuff like that. But I've been fortunate to be welcomed into this YouTube community by a lot of people. Certainly made some great friends along the way, and even just touched base with a lot of other great content creators and things like that. Been really fortunate. I really have. And I know even through all of this discourse that's been going on in these fan communities, I'm one of those people. I've always kind of been, I have my own thoughts. I have my own theories. I have just all of those kinds of things. That I'm my own. I march to the beat of my own drum. Okay. I don't march to anybody else's. I might listen to it and be like, hey, yeah, cool, man. Yeah, you do your thing. Um, but I definitely I have my own thoughts and opinions on things, and a lot of times those conflict with other people's opinions as well, and I'm totally open to hearing other people's thoughts. And so there's a lot of that going on out there, and you guys know, like I said, I've been welcomed into even like a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there that think I'm fandom menace or anything like that, because I associate with a lot of people who are, and a lot of that, and I associate with many people who aren't as well, who are basically the opposition of the fandom menace, and that's just because I'm I'm cool with I take things out for what they are. You know what I mean? I don't care what somebody's opinion on a freaking movie is. I'm not gonna rule them out as being somebody I like or don't like because they like a movie or they don't like a movie, or because they have contrasting opinions to mine, or they're a little bit extreme about stuff. I have no problem with that. Like, if you're a cool person, hey, I'm cool. Let's talk. I've got, like I said, I've been welcomed in, and the reason is I associate with a lot of people in the fandom menace, because a lot of these people are willing to have conversations, and there's other people like who are on the other side of the equation who don't. They're not open to having discussions, and that's one of the reasons why, like, I've been mistaken. People have thought that I'm part of the fandom menace, and all that stuff, and I'm not. I don't claim to be or anything like that. But I've been fortunate to come across a lot of creators who do say that, are part of the fandom menace. Who just they just have that feeling, so they identify with that. It's like, hey, cool, good on you. And so naturally people think that I am, and I'm not. But I have met a lot of great creators through the are down with the fandom menace and all that stuff. And like I said, I associate with them. There's a lot of cool people there. A lot of people that have helped me along the way. A lot of people that I like. So I watch their channels. I support them. They come here. They watch me, and they support me as well. So yeah, like I said, I'm that person. And then there's other people out there that aren't part of the fandom menace that I get along with, I talk with, and we have a good time and hang out. Just interacting on social media and stuff, because like I said, I'm not invested in anything that I'm gonna like I said, I don't block people, I don't do all that. I'm just hey, I'm a pretty easygoing guy, you know what I mean? I like to listen to other people's opinions and take them all in, and I'm not the kind of person that's gonna attack or be against anybody for having their opinions, or expressing them. And I'll get more into the Trailer Park Live this evening. Kobe Reviews Movie says, I can't wait for Joker. I know, man, we're almost there, dude. What is it, like, we're less than a month away, isn't it like in mid-October? Man, we're getting close, man. We're getting close, and it's gonna be a good movie. Did you see that poster? Did you see that poster that came out for the new Joker movie? Dude, that was a pretty sick poster. I'm not really, like, it seems like the art of the posters is lost nowadays, but that poster looked pretty sick. It looks pretty sick. I like that poster. Yeah, I can't wait to see that anyway. But yeah, make sure you guys tune in tonight for the Trailer Park Live, because it's going to be interesting. There's been some interesting things going on out there in the world. People just doing things, going through life, I guess. So yeah, I'm not sure if you guys seen. Yeah, I'll save it for the Trailer Park Live. I think I've kind of beat around the bush about it enough. And those are the kind of things I usually talk about more on my show, the Trailer Park Live, October 4th. Okay, so yeah, it's coming up real quick. Crap, that's a busy weekend for me. Real busy. And will I even get to see it that weekend? Because my daughter's birthday is the oh man, did I just forget my daughter's birthday? It's on the 6th, and we're having her party on the 5th, and then I've got an event that I've got to work on the 6th, and so it's gonna be a busy weekend, man. Damn, and that's coming up quick. That's 2 weeks away. Whew. Time flies by too quick. But yes, thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel today. Now, like I said, make sure that you're subscribed, and make sure that you leave comments down in the comments section, because as soon as I hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a copy of John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, and Alita Battle Angel. Two excellent, excellent movies. And like I said yesterday, I don't do these giveaways to get you to invite all your friends and gain subscribers or anything. This is just for you guys, for being here and supporting the channel in any way you can. They're the digital copies. They come in these movies when I buy them, because what I do, in case you guys don't know what I do for these things, is in case you guys ever heard of this cool service called Vudu. I order a lot of the movies through Vudu, because I get the digital copy right then, that comes out usually 2 weeks before the disc does. So it comes with the digital copy anyway, and then they send out this physical copy out in the mail, and then they've got the codes in there. The codes in there for another movie. You know what I mean? For a digital download. So for those, I just give them all to you guys, to my subscribers, for being here and supporting the channel, man. It's not a way to try to get new subscribers or anything, but certainly, I mean, I'm sure, I don't think I've had people come here to my channel just to subscribe for the giveaways. And even if they did, I mean, hey, whatever. I'm not that worried about that. I just do it because I got to do something with these digital copies. I'm not just gonna let them go to waste. But I may actually give away a copy of Secret Life of Pets 2 as well. So that's 3 movies. Got 3 movies to give away copies of. So you guys, make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you're subscribed and leave comments and down in the comments section, because as soon as we hit 500, I will be doing that giveaway for these 3 movies. So make sure you're subscribed. But yeah, make sure you tune into the Second Street Marvel tonight for the Trailer Park Live at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I'm going to go over some of the comic books that I bought for the week. I'm going to get a little bit R-rated, and we're going to talk about some things going on out there in the community. It's going to be a good time. It's always a good time anytime you guys are there on Friday nights for the Trailer Park Live, because that's when I usually try to keep a little more energetic and upbeat, and yeah, it's just my time to release a little bit and, be a little more uncensored and unfiltered, and have a great time with you all, who are the ones who make this show worth doing every single day, every single week, every single month. I thank you all so much. You all have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you tonight on the Trailer Park Live. Later.